I had always trusted my wife. She was everything to me, my partner, my confidant, my best friend. But something felt off. The late nights, the sudden work meetings, the way she started distancing herself. I tried to ignore it. Maybe I was just overthinking things. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. One evening, I had enough. I decided to follow her. I didn't want to believe it, but the suspicion gnawed at me. She left our house under the guise of another work event. This time, I couldn't shake the feeling that I needed to know the truth. So, I grabbed my coat, got into my car, and followed her. She drove to a part of town I wasn't familiar with, and then she pulled into the parking lot of a hotel. My heart raced as I parked a few cars away. I watched her get out of the car, glancing around nervously before heading into the hotel lobby. My gut tightened. I wasn't imagining things. Something was happening. Something I wasn't prepared to see. I waited a few minutes, trying to calm myself, but the anxiety was too much. I got out of the car and walked to the entrance, trying to stay out of sight. As I entered the hotel, I saw her walking down the hallway with a man I didn't recognize. They were laughing, too comfortable with each other, as if there was no care in the world. My heart dropped as I followed them quietly. I didn't know what I was expecting, but I didn't expect to feel like this, betrayed, sick to my stomach, completely blindsided. I had to confront her. I had to know. I rounded the corner, and there they were, her and the man, standing in front of a hotel room door. That's when she noticed me. Her eyes widened in shock, her face pale as a ghost. "Who is this?" the man asked, his voice shaking with fear, clearly confused by my sudden appearance. He didn't even know who I was. "That's my husband," she muttered, her voice barely audible. I couldn't believe it. She was cheating on me, and now she was standing there, caught. But what happened next left me speechless. The man, probably just some random guy she had been seeing, began to panic. "I didn't know you were married, man." "I swear I didn't," he stammered. "I didn't know she was with someone." I couldn't take it anymore. This man was the least of my concern. I turned to him, my anger boiling over. "You better get the hell out of here, or I'll make sure both of you end up in prison," I threatened, my voice low and dangerous. He didn't need to hear more. The man practically ran down the hall, disappearing into the elevator without looking back. Now it was just the two of us. The woman I thought I knew, the woman I had spent years with, was standing before me, looking more scared than I had ever seen her. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't think straight. All I could hear was the pounding in my chest, the burning anger, the crushing betrayal. She opened her mouth, and the words that came out of her mouth cut through me like a knife. "It wasn't serious," she said, her voice trembling. "It was just a mistake. I'm sorry, it doesn't mean anything." Those words. It wasn't serious. That was when I knew it was over. That was when everything in me snapped. How could she say that? How could she downplay what had just happened, as if it didn't matter? As if the years we'd spent together didn't count for anything? My mind raced, and my voice trembled with disbelief. "How could you say that? How could you stand there and tell me it wasn't serious?" I yelled, my emotion spiraling out of control. "You slept with another man, and you're telling me it's not serious?" She tried to apologize, but nothing could make it right. She told me how sorry she was, how much she regretted it. She said it was a mistake, that she didn't know why it happened, but I couldn't listen anymore. The trust was gone. The love I had for her was shattered. "I can't do this anymore," I said, shaking my head, the words barely escaping my lips. "You've made it clear how little this meant to you. I'm done." I left the hotel that night with nothing but my shattered heart and a feeling of utter betrayal. She begged me to stay, to listen to her, but it was too late. The damage had been done, and I knew I couldn't go back to someone who so easily dismissed what we had built. The days that followed were filled with her desperate attempts to contact me, texts, phone calls, even letters. She cried on the phone, pleading for me to come back, to forgive her. But nothing she said could erase what had happened. She called it not serious, but for me, that was the final insult. I filed for divorce. There was no turning back. Months went by, but she didn't stop. She showed up at my house, at my work, anywhere she could find me, crying, begging for another chance. I made a mistake, she would say over and over, but it didn't matter. Please, I love you. Please come back. And now, here I am, still trying to move on, still trying to rebuild my life. She's still out there, crying for me to take her back. But after everything, after those words, I can't even look at her the same way. How could she betray me and then try to make it seem like it was nothing? The trust is gone. And with it, so is she.